Hi! um, Welcome back to my channel. I hope you've been good, and I'm sorry for not uploading for that long. As always, I have an excuse, kind of. I've been in Denmark, and just came back from a few weeks ago. So yeah, quite recent-ish. I mean, I've been away for New Year's, but it's neither here nor there. But I've been back for a few weeks, and I haven't uploaded a video because I have to get back into the groove, like no, into everything. Yeah. So welcome back. I hope you've been good. My name's Jana. If you're new here, I never really introduce myself usually, but my name's Jana. I'm a booktuber. Aspiring. Yeah, I could say I'm a booktuber. I studied comparative literature, and now I'm going to talk about my favorite books of this year. I've chosen 10 books, which is not that easy, from 100. But I think I did a good job. Like, I'm pretty confident. With my choice. Yeah, let's just go on with it. And on number 10, I'm going from worst to favorite books. So my worst, not worst, but like my least favorite out of the top 10 books out of 100 I've read last year is The Disaster Tourist. There you go. By Yun Koyun. I'm sure, sorry if I mispronounced that, but it's by a Korean author, and it's about a woman who's working for a travel agency, and she's actually like she's working for an agency that looks at disaster tourism places, which are places that where bad things have happened, like earthquakes, volcanoes, crime, all that stuff. And she goes towards, she gets put onto an island, I think, whatever. Like she thinks it's just a regular disaster tourism place. There's been like an earthquake, I think, in the past. It's been a while since I've read this. It's about disaster tourism, so like the phenomenon, and also like the consequences of it, and like why people are fascinated by going to places where bad things have happened. Yeah, it's quite psychological, and I liked it a lot. Some people have said that it doesn't go into depth because it's that short, and I can agree, kind of, but also why should it? I mean, it doesn't really have like it touches really interesting topics, but there's so much you can think, like you can make your own conclusions whether you would say that disaster tourism is like something it's good or bad in a way. I don't know. If you ever saw, sorry, it's been a while. If you've ever seen Nightcrawler by Jake Gyllenhaal, that's about like it's similar in a way. Like it's not about disaster tourism, but it's about speculative. Like he takes pictures of crime scenes, and it kind of gets out of hand. Like the human fascination with like crime and like bad things. Like what is it about? Why are we sometimes fascinated by that? Yeah, it's really interesting. And this book I can recommend. It's really nice. It's short and sweet. And I've marked a few passages. Let's just see. Yeah. Like just one I'm showing you, and then I'm gonna go quickly through the other ones. But like number 10 gets a special treatment. Like random, but I underlined this word, like semchiopso. Not an English word. I just realized that I just read it like it is, like it would be an English word. It's a Korean word, and it's a Korean dish. I don't know if you can see it. And I didn't know that at the time. And if you want to know what it is, you can look it up because I can't remember. But it's this. If you want to pause it. Yeah. It's a Korean dish, apparently. Random. I know. Okay. The next book I want to talk about, I actually talked about in another video too. I think in my last video, where I talked about books I read recent, like books I read in like Nordic books, like by authors that are from the Nordic regions, like Sweden, Denmark, because I've been there, so I read Nordic books, of course. But yeah, I talked about it there. It's by a Swedish author. It's Willful Disregard, number 9. It's not higher in the list because I figured, like, it's a good book. It's about fair relationships, like the one to her partner and the one she has with another, with basically a stranger. Like, she's just fascinated by him, and yeah, it gets out of hand from there because she's like, she just falls in love with the idea of this man. So yeah, but it's just, it's really interesting. Like, it's written really intricately, and like really intense. Like, relationships can be intense, and you can really feel it with this. And it's willful disregard everything else. I think I said that in there. Like, the title is just really nice. Yeah. Yeah. The author was actually Lena Anderson. I forgot to say that. That's number 9. And I think more people should read this because it's a book I haven't heard that much about. So, there you go. Number 8 is actually a book that's a short story collection. So I have non-fiction novels and fictional novels, and also like this is like more like type of essays out of the author's life, and it's the 2000s Made Me Gay, which is quite a nice title. Sorry. And it's about the author's coming to terms with her sexuality and, like, of course, like the title, and pop culture and like pop cultural references in relation to being gay. And yeah, it's so nice. Like, it's just pop culture and all it entails in the 2000s. Yeah, so that's that. I can recommend because it's just a fun book and quick to read, and also like the cover and like the design stunning. So colorful. It's by Grace Perry, an American author. Or she, no, she's a British author because she talks about the Spice Girls. And she also talks about, like, I think her grandmother is called Katie, and she's called Perry, and so her grandmother actually is called Katy Perry too. So that's funny, a funny reference to pop culture too. Yeah, so that's 2000s Made Me Gay by Grace Perry. Highly recommend. Like, I wish I could have rated this higher, but it's just a short story collection. I like those, but like, it's not a full novel, so I figured that my top 1 choice would be, it would be better to be a full novel, which is interesting that I think that way, but still. That's number 7, I think? Yeah, 7. Number 8 on my favorites list is a graphic novel, actually. It's Fangs by Sarah Anderson. It's such a nice book with like these edges. Really nice. And it's just like a story about a vampire and a werewolf falling in love. And it's just funny. Like they're total opposites. Like he's like really happy-go-lucky and she's like really gothic. And somehow they still like each other a lot. And it's just cute, like like he makes the bath dirty in one scene because it changes when he's in the shower, and it's just fun. Look at this. What the fuck? Yeah, it's just cute. Can highly recommend. And it's also like, it's just a little small book. really nice and really like nicely made with leather bound, but it's not really leather, but still like really nice. Yeah, that's but yeah, number 6 on my list of favorite books is actually a non-fiction book I've been talking about, and it's called Heartbreak by Florence Williams, and it's about heartbreak from a scientific point of view. Like she analyzes what heartbreak means, and like she's a scientist, and she also she has gotten through a divorce, I think, and her and she goes on a journey to deal with her heartbreak because she heard that nature is good for her soul, and sees if it helps her. It's really nice. Like it's written really nicely, and I can relate because I don't know. And I've never heard of a non-fictional book that's about heartbreak. So yeah, there you go. And the cover is also stunning. Like I actually listened to this on Libby, the library app, and I was so impressed by it because it was like so unusual to hear about heartbreak from a scientific point of view that I just had to buy the book and the cover mainly, which is just rock formations in the this viewing point from like in the shape of a heart. Yeah, cute. The next book, number 5, yes, is actually, I thought it would be my favorite this year, but something else took that space. See, position is really uncomfortable. I'm back home. Boys and girls, I should find something more comfortable, but the background is just too nice. Yeah. Well, number 5 on my list is House of Leaves. It's not my favorite book full time, but I thought it would be. It's marked quite a bit because like I'm not that much. I don't mark that much. I just mark a few things usually. So this is a lot for me. I thought it would be my favorite because it's just like cool. Like the whole internet loves it, and it's about like a house that's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside, and like a horror story. And I don't know, it's not just about that though. It's like when I read it, I felt it. Like it feels intense. It feels like a horror story. Like it is a horror story, but it's just like I rarely read books that feel this intense. Just read it. Just read it. You won't regret it. Number 4 on my list for my favorite books of this year. It's actually a graphic novel again. I got recommended at university in Denmark. And it's The Lions of Baghdad, and in German, Die Löwen von Bagdad, by Brian K. Vaughan and someone else. But mainly, sorry, no, and Nico Henderson, but mainly Brian K. Vaughan. This guy. He made a lot of other graphic novels, so he's quite popular. And yeah, I've never heard of his graphic novels before though. I have heard of his name, but I never really related it to anything. I think he's really he's really famous, but like I never really read anything by him. So this was my first graphic novel, and it's about a real occurrence written in non-fiction, like fictionalized by him, and it's about lions that like fled the zoo in Baghdad, and when they were bombed, and from there on they escaped the war, and it's quite intense and like yeah. I just liked it because it's like the political message behind it is really important in today's time, and I mean in every time, but like especially today with Ukraine and like Russia and war and everything else. Like I don't know. Like it's just really interesting to see how much we've learned or not, and why we still have something like war. Yeah. I know I'm privileged to say that, but like still, why do we still have wars and why do we still fight each other like that? It just doesn't make sense. We should, yeah. I mean, yeah, can recommend. Drawn really nicely and really important. So the lines are like that, like a graphic novel. And shiny eyes. Really nice. A flair. Yeah. My next, my third, like I'm coming to the top 3. My third favorite book this year was drumroll, The Lonely Castle, in the Mirror. I love this. Just like the cover, this nice picture in the back. Everything else like this. I like this sometimes. Like I really love this. Like clapping it up. Yeah, not just the cover, but still. It's just I don't know. Like it's a fantasy story about a group of kids that go for beers to skip their realities at home. Like they follow a girl with a wolf mask. This girl. And it reminded me of Narnia in a way, going through like a portal to a different dimension. But it just, I don't know, it's like Narnia without religion. Like, I love Narnia, don't get me wrong, but it's just like a bit flawed. Like, religional aspects and stuff, it's like a bit preachy sometimes. And this is not that. This is like Narnia, but without religion. And it's kind of for adults, but also for kids in a way. Like, I don't know if it's like if it's targeted for kids or if it's targeted for adults. Sorry, I have a stuffy nose, so maybe I sound a bit off. But yeah, it's both. It's like it's nice. It's really cool. Can recommend. And it's just wholesome. Like it's not it's wholesome and it's sad too because it's like about bullying and like escaping the reality, but like in the end it's wholesome. So there you go. The Lonely Castle in the Mirror. Also the title. Like yeah, can recommend. Drink break. My second favorite book this year was actually a Christmas book. And I never really read those because it's like, I don't know, I always take myself a bit too seriously when it comes to books. I tend to read like popular books and like classics, but not really like romance or like books that are not as hyped or like not the most popular books. I mean, it's popular still, but it's not like really hyped. It's not like the next hot thing. But anyways, my second favorite book is one that I really love because it was just really nice, like really cozy. It's the Christmas Bookshop. Look at it. It's amazing. It's not the most, I don't know, it's like not the best written book, it's not the best told like story, it's not the best anything, but it's just like wholesome. It's just cozy, it's just vibes, it's everything. Like it's about a bookshop, a Christmas bookshop, and she has to save it in Edinburgh, and it's just vibes, like I said. Like Edinburgh is like a nice city anyway, so I really want to visit it someday. But yeah, it's just really nice. She falls in love, of course. It's a romance. It's a Christmas romance. Here we go. What? Sorry. My lighting? What? Well, kids, there's something going on. My computer just crashed, and my lighting is connected to the computer, so bear with me. Yay! This is better. Okay. Well, we figured it out. So, and my absolute favorite book after this short light break, just for, I don't know, it was on purpose, like, excitement. But yeah, my favorite book is Cleopatra and Frankenstein. Just the cover is amazing. And my nice bookmark. Yeah. This is a book about Cleopatra, like Cleo, and Frankenstein, and it's about those two people falling in love. In where is it? I think in New York. Yeah, and I think I forgot to say, but it's about city life and like falling in love and like they get married really quickly and like the relationship gets really toxic after that. But it's just full of anecdotes and it's like really nicely written and really good literature, so I can recommend really, like, this is just really cool. And the author is like really new. I think it's her first book, I'm not sure. Coco Milliors, like a really nice name. But yeah, so kudos, can recommend. Like, I was never bored, and I have so many passages that are underlined. Like, it was witty, it was funny, it was sad, it was toxic. Cleopatra and Frankenstein. If you're ever bored, like, if you ever want to read something that you're never wanting to put down, this one. If you ever want to read something that gives you the faith in love again, like gives you back your faith in love, this book. And if you want to shatter this faith and like break your heart in tiny pieces, this book. Yeah, can recommend. Love it. Some people didn't like it, but I don't know. There's always someone like it, of course. And I think objectively it's not the best book, but this year I really enjoyed it, so can recommend. And really nice. So yeah. Those were my 10 favorite books of the year, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a good time watching this video, and until next time, bye bye, see ya.